Hey guys, I'm up here in the El Sobrante Hills in the Bay Area, checking out what they have to offer as far as plants goes. Showing you the view. I'm at a little knoll top right now. There's the Bay Area and the bay. And yeah, I'm up here checking out. There's a rare Manzanita species that lives up here. One of only 2 places that they're endemic to. Oh, what's that? Got a little red maid right here. This is some Baccharis or coyote brush. Oh, here's a turkey vulture flying overhead. So yeah, it's a pretty nice day out. Maybe 55 degrees. Got some cloud cover. It was raining throughout the past week, but it's pretty muddy now, but the rain has stopped. There are some amazing little treasures I found on this trail, so I'm going to bring you guys down there and show off some cool plants. I'm alone out here, so it's very strange for me to be speaking out loud to myself. So if my phrasing or timing is weird, I apologize. Some poison hemlock. There's new sprouts starting down there. A little bit of miner's lettuce. An early flower. This one's edible. It's very much like a spinach or any other cool season green you might eat. It's more poison hemlock. And you can see, here's the purple stems. That's how you can tell the poison hemlock from some of its lookalikes. It's got these carrot family leaves here. Here's some Artemisia, or wormwood is the common name. And this smells absolutely wonderful. Pretty much all of the Artemisias smell delicious. So now we're going to head down into a little oak grove. I do know at this location there's supposed to be Shrive Oaks, although I've never come into contact with them before. I'm not exactly sure how to tell them apart from the more common coast live oak, which also I'm not very familiar with considering I don't live on the coast or explore here that often. This appears to be some bush monkey flower. Out of flower. Maybe sticky bush monkey flower. And also, once we head down in the trees here, we'll be running into some mushrooms. Got a little California bay tree here. It's a pretty common one. It grows out near me as well. But these are exactly like the bay leaf that you'd buy in the grocery store, but probably twice as strong in flavor. And they smell wonderful, and they can be used as like an insect repellent while you're out in the field as well. It's one of my favorite plants. Just take a leaf, break it. I just love that smell. Here's some poison oak. Just starting to send, oh, focus. I don't want to touch it to bring it into frame, but that's your Pacific poison oak, just about to send out its flowers. It's kind of hard to make out. All right, here is our first example of the rare Manzanita that exists up here. This is Arctostaphylos pallida, the pallid Manzanita. It only grows in this location on this singular hilltop, and also in one other location in the Oakland Hills, but that's it. Manzanitas have this brilliant red bark and shiny, smooth, when it peels down at the bottom, and usually comes down to a burl at the bottom. And it's in the heath family, Ericaceae, so the flowers, when you can see them, oh, there's a fruit still attached. When we get to the flowers, they are sort of like blueberry flowers or other plants in that family. And this is what we're going to be seeing a lot of. We got little Rustlers species everywhere. There are these white colored ones and red ones. I tasted one earlier. They all taste like burning. So that means they are poisonous. But in any case, if we pop this out of the ground here, these are also called brittleCAPs. And that's mainly because the stalk will snap off pretty much in a chalky manner rather than being tendrily or being tough. And as long as it does that and also doesn't have a milky latex that leaks out when it's broken, you can safely say that is a Rustlers species. If it does have the milky latex, that would be Lactarius. Here's one of those burls on a giant Manzanita, as I was talking about. And I just absolutely love this kind of environment with this small oaks and the arching Manzanitas. You get to walk through these little tunnels, which just feel really magical. There's the red version of those Rustlers right there. Now, as far as I know, most Rustlers need microscope work to get down to the species, and I'm not quite versed enough in them to be able to tell just from sight. So I'm not sure what species that is, to be completely honest. More beautiful, twisted, arching branches. And then you can see on this Manzanita how the stems here, maybe you can't see, but they're quite hairy. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Oh, there we go. So that's something I've never seen on a Manzanita before. I don't know how common that is to other species. Oh, will you look at that? There is. Here's another Manzanita. And growing right out of the burl in some moss is another one of those Rustlers species. That one looks so pretty, I'm not going to touch it. Oh, and again, some more popping out of the ground there. Oh, here's some flowers on Manzanita. Now you can see what I'm talking about. A little bell-shaped flower. one's very much in flower. There's appears to be flies all over the flowers doing the pollination. Check out this lichen. That is beautiful. Wow. Here's another little mushroom. That appears to be a western gazette. Yep, you can see the vulva down there at the bottom, the little egg that it erupts from. The striations on the edge here, the gray color, the universal veil on top. Now see, I wonder if these are Shrive Oaks or if these are just coast live oaks. I'll have to check out my field guide when I get back. I took some pictures earlier, so I have some info to go off of. Yeah, just not sure. And we're seeing a lot of Indian warrior, excuse me. Is Pedicularis densiflora, I believe. That's actually a parasitic plant, so, or a hemiparasite rather, so it could either live as a parasitic plant or it could live on its own. There's some quite big patches of it. I usually see only individuals here and there, and a little bit of yerba santa, some kind of like smut or rust, or I don't know my plant pathogen fungi too well, but here's some new growth and maybe even a little flower head starting in there. Wow, okay, this is by far the biggest. Holy hell. Look at the size of this patch of Indian warrior. All up on the hillside there too. Now I haven't tried it, but apparently this plant works as a herbal smoke. Look how beautiful those plants are. All up on that ridge there too. Got some fern over here. This looks like a polypody. It's probably the, oh, it doesn't have any sori yet. Oh no, this is California polypody. You can see the bumps of the sori on the top of the leaf. There's the sori on the bottom of the leaf. There's some other polypodies which would just be smooth on the top here. You wouldn't see the sore eye. And here's a very tiny goldback fern, or Pentagramma triangularis. You can see it's called a goldback fern because it has slightly gold tint to the back. There's also a silver colored version, but I've yet to find that one personally. Oh, here's a little ribes. It's a gooseberry or a currant. Oh, it's gooseberry. There's the little spiky fruit. I think they're quite tasty. And here are some of the flowers. Oh, well, post flowers anyway. Now we're coming across a couple madrone trees here. Now madrone is related to the manzanita, but the manzanita is typically a shrub. Madrone turns into a rather large tree, but they're in the same family. Actually, you can make a tea out of the leaves here, and when you dry it out, it kind of tastes almost exactly like a orange pico or just a regular black tea. It's quite good. And also they have that smooth bark, although it's not quite as red as the manzanitas. Got another beautiful little rustler there. This is a very old one. This might have been white at one point even. Alright, well we kind of came full circle, but I'm having too much fun in exploring this place, so I'm going to take another little side trail I passed up earlier. See if there's anything new up there. Well, there's a new one, although it's pretty common over even by me. This one's called soap plant, because the Native Americans would use the natural saponins that are in to make a natural soap. Also has a bunch of other uses. It gets this giant flower stalk that will rise up 4 or 5 feet. It has beautiful white flowers. There's another little fern back here. Oh, and there's a Mara species. So this is one of my favorite native plants, this vine right here. This is actually a native cucurbita, which is the same family as melons and cucumbers. And this is called California manroot. And it's called manroot because you can see, if I pull the vine, it's coming out of the ground over there. The root, well, rather the tuber under the ground, can get to the size of a man. And so this will die back every year and then resprout from the ground. And this is also one of the first plants to come back after a fire, because the fire does not hurt that massive tuber underground. Then we got another little fern. just coming up. It doesn't have any sora yet, but it does kind of look like a spiny wood fern to me. But I can't be sure. There we got some wood sorrel. This isn't invasive around here. It's that classic shamrock. But it spreads like crazy around here. Luckily we don't have too many issues with it in the mountains. The coast tends to have a lot more troubles with invasive species because it never freezes out here, which would normally kill a lot of plants and keep them from reproducing. But on the coast they just proliferate. So they have very many invasive species, and as a consequence they have very many rare species because many of the species have been cordoned off like this onto hilltops or small little areas that have escaped the massive development out here. We got a little California mugwort. This is actually another Artemisia species, like that one back on the hilltop. This one's actually one of my favorite smelling plants. I grow this in my garden, and I'm able to divide it just from the roots every year. So one plant has now turned into, I don't know, 20 or so, and they're spread all throughout my yard. I wish I knew my bird calls. I could tell you what that is, but that is a major weakness of mine. Oh, this is something. Here's some, this is that California bay I was showing again, but these are what the flowers look like. So they're actually quite pretty, and they smell intoxicating, almost like a lilac. This is a great plant to grow pretty much anywhere in California. Those flowers attract a lot of insects and pollinators. And the plant's useful, can provide some shade, gets quite big as well. Okay, well, that looks like the end. So I'm going to turn around. I hope that was somewhat enjoyable. I wanted to give an idea a little bit of what it's like to go on a hike with me. Some of you are separated by quite a lot of distance, and we won't have many opportunities to share something like this. So if you guys like it, maybe I'll do more in the future.